Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream. With the magic of the FA Cup well and truly alive, we have another potential upset on our hands as League 2 Newport County take on 12-time FA Cup winners Manchester United at Rodney Parade. Newport County, who are currently managed by Graham Coughlin, find themselves 16th in League 2, which is the fourth tier of English football, but do come into this game off the back of a 1-0 home win to fellow Welsh side Wrexham, who are also still in the FA Cup. For Manchester United, they were finalists in this competition last season, and for this season they have come up against two sides now who have been a couple of divisions below them after they beat Wigan at the DW Stadium in the third round last time out, with goals from Diogo Dalot and captain Bruno Fernandes. In two of the three rounds for the Exiles, they have needed a replay against Barnet in the second round and Eastleigh in the third round. This is the first ever competitive meeting between the two teams, but Newport have faced the blue half of Manchester 4 times previously. The last time was in 2019 in the fifth round, which is their best FA Cup run, along with their fifth round exit back in 1949. So, could we see an upset in South Wales, or will Manchester United find their way through to the fifth round of the FA Cup? Whoever wins this game between these two sides, they will take on either Bristol City or Nottingham Forest away from home. Not long ago did Manchester United go to Nottingham Forest and lose in the Premier League by 2-1. And we also know the damage that Bristol City can do against Premier League opposition when they beat West Ham United in the third round. So if Manchester United do progress through, which we are expecting them to do so, then it will be a difficult fifth round fixture. They'd probably be favourites in terms of quality of squad if you compare Bristol and Nottingham Forest's squads to Manchester United's, but it'd definitely be more of a difficult tie, more so the fact they'd have to play away from Old Trafford. If they were playing at home, then obviously the odds would be even more in their favour. But for Newport as well, it's the same for them. If they go through and to face Bristol or Nottingham Forest, that'd be a very difficult task. But if they were to come away today and beat Manchester United, I'm sure they would fancy playing anyone in this competition. Like I say, the last decent run in this competition was in the fifth round back in 2019, where it came to an end after a 4-1 loss here at home to Manchester City. We had goals from Sane, Mahrez and 2 from Foden. They haven't done that well in recent years. Newport County in the FA Cup, they knocked out in the second round last season by Derby. They only reached the first round in 2021-22 season. Then the 2020-2021 season, they were knocked out in the third round by Brighton. Previous to that was the third round, but then in 2017-18 they had a good run, finishing ended up in the fourth round, where they were knocked out by Spurs after a replay, after a home draw in the first game. And in the season after that was their game against Manchester City, where they, in those two runs, they didn't just play Manchester City and Tottenham in terms of big names. They beat the likes of Leicester during those runs, Leeds United as well. So it has been, 5 or 6 years since Newport went on a healthy FA Cup run, but there is no reason why they can't go on one today. There is 75 teams between these two clubs in the football pyramid. Manchester United are 76 places above them, but the teams in between them is 75. And Manchester United have gone as strong as possible, it looks like to me, which is, also great to see, but it also shows that Ten Hag knows that this, this has potential to be a big banana skin, and he doesn't want to take any risks with playing a weakened side. Again, as I say, if this was to be played at Old Trafford, we may have seen a few changes, having the home advantage and the fact that, the Old Trafford pitch is so big, and I'm presuming that Ten Hag would have the faith in his side to have been able to get through that one pretty easily at home. But the fact it's away, it's a smaller ground, they've got a temporary stand for the last two games, Newport, so they usually can only hold just under 7,900, but now with the temporary stand that they've brought in, they can hold 9,000 in. It's very compact, it's a small stadium, and this is a great occasion for Newport, who are already receiving £400,000 from TV money, and then add the gate receipts they'll get with the fact they've been able to add more supporters into the ground. No matter what the result is tonight for Newport County, they have definitely succeeded in this season's FA Cup in terms of bringing the money in that is needed in this level of football, in the fourth tier that they're in. There's plenty of teams in that league, one being Wrexham, where there's a lot of money in there, and even teams in that divisions have got to keep up. So this will definitely help out Newport, that is for sure. They are under the management of Graham Coughlin, who is an Irish former centre-back in his playing days, retired back in 2013. He is taking charge of his 75th game as Newport manager, and this is his 11th in the FA Cup. He's had 5 wins, 4 draws, and 1 loss. Only the 1 loss in the FA Cup since whilst he's been manager. He's also managed at the likes of Bristol Rovers back in 2018 and 2019. He also moved on to Mansfield for just under a year as well. So he's been around a few lower league clubs, but he's settled here at the moment at Newport, as he has got them 16th in League Two, which isn't the greatest of positions in that division. They're flirting more towards the relegation than they are the playoff positions, but in those leagues, if you get a good run of form where you win 3-4 in a row, you can shoot yourselves right up the table. But their focus today is in the FA Cup. Like I said, they haven't had a good run in this competition for around 5 years, but what a momentous occasion this will be at Rodney Parade with 9,000 fans here. It's a complete sellout. This time next week, Newport will be hosting Swindon Town. So it is back to reality next week, but now they are facing up a dream game in the FA Cup where they are taking on Manchester United of the Premier League, 12-time winners. They haven't won the FA Cup though, Manchester United, since 2016 when Louis van Gaal was in charge. Their first FA Cup was back in 1909. They've got a very rich history in this competition. There's Manchester United. But both sets of players are entering the field here at Rodney Parade. It's fantastic the fact they've been able to get that temporary standing to boost the attendance up today to 9,000 in South Wales. And what an occasion and what a game we could have on our hands here. We commentated on the Ipswich-Maidstone game yesterday, which brought such a huge upset and shock. And we could get the same today. We'll have to wait and see, but there's no reason why Newport can't do it. And it just depends on what team turns up for both. If Newport are on it and United aren't, we could get a close encounter. Remember, there is no extra time in this fixture as well, and that is something Manchester United won't want. They will not want a replay, that's for sure. They'll want this game wrapped up here and now. But if you are new, if you could like and subscribe, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Kickoff is just about 3 minutes away. I'll quickly go through both lineups. And for Newport, they are unchanged from their last game in the league against Wrexham, and they are unchanged from their last FA Cup game against Eastleigh. It is Nick Townsend in goal, 3 defenders at the back, and that is James Clark, 34 years of age. Alongside him is 33-year-old Scott Bennett, who's making his 350th Newport appearance tonight. And alongside him is Ryan Delaney, the younger one of the 3 at the back. He is 27 years of age, and he is Newport's captain, signed this season from Morecambe. And then 5 along the midfield, right wing back is going to be Shane McLaughlin, who's got 2 goals so far at home this season. They have come against 2 of the leading sides in League Two, and that has been Barrow and Stockport County. On the left-hand side, at left wing-back, is going to be Adam Lewis, who is on loan this season from Liverpool. He also spent last season on loan here at Newport. 3 midfield of Bryn Morris, Harry Charsley, and Aaron Wildig, and then 2 up front, 1 on loan from Bristol City, who they could face in the next round. That is Seb Palmer-Holden. Alongside him is Will Evans, the leading scorer for Newport this season. He has got 15 in League Two at the moment, and he's got 1 in the FA Cup, and that came against Eastleigh in the last round in the replay, which got them to this stage of the competition. For Manchester United, it is a debut for Altay Bayındır, the Turkish goalkeeper who made a summer move for £4.3 million from Fenerbahce. Back 4 of Diogo Dallo, who scored in his last game in the FA Cup against Wigan, and at left back Luke Shaw is returning once again after missing the last 4 of injury. Rafael Varane will play alongside Lisandro Martinez, who came off the bench after his return since injury from September. He came off the bench against Tottenham in the last Premier League game, which was 2 weeks ago. 2 holding midfielders, another returnee, and that is Casemiro. He's been out since the 21st of October. He returns after not coming off the bench against Tottenham. He'll play alongside 18-year-old Kobbie Mainoo, who's making his 10th start in a Manchester United shirt. 3 behind the striker on the right is going to be Anthony. On the left is Alejandro Garnacho. In behind the striker is going to be Bruno Fernandes, who scored that penalty in the 3rd round against Wigan. And leading the line up front is Rasmus Højlund, who's got 7 goals for Manchester United in his first 25 appearances. Can he get his first in the FA Cup? they are the lineups. You can see the substitute bench down below the lineups if you want to see who is on the bench. But Altay Bayındır, the goalkeeper for Fenerbahçe, did win the Turkish Cup last season, but they was defeated in the Europa League last 16 by Sevilla, who then went on into the quarterfinals and beat Manchester United. But Newport, two kickers off, kicking right to left, Manchester United left to right, as the ball's been sent down the Newport right-hand side. It's headed away here by Casemiro, held down the line by McLaughlin, headed away by Luke Shaw to the halfway line, played forward here by the number 5, and that is James Clark. Tackle there by Martinez, who went in strong on the right wing back of Shane McLaughlin, and then a misplaced pass out wide left towards Garnacho goes out of play for a Newport County throw-in just inside their own half on the far side, where we can see the two technical areas on the opposite side of the stadium, as it is Erik ten Hag's 93rd game in charge of Manchester United. He has overseen 26 losses previously, a lot of them coming this season. They have lost 14 already this season, 2 more than they lost in the entirety of last season, as the ball's been dropped in the midfield here towards Bruno Fernandes, who can poke it forward towards Garnacho, loses out and it's cleared down the line again by Clark. Well, as far as Martinez, who's ball in the midfield, he finds Casemiro, who nods it all the way back into the 18-yard area to be collected by Altay Bayındır, who's obviously in for Onana at the moment, who is at African Cup of Nations, but he will be returning now after Cameroon was knocked out in the round of 16 last night. So it might just be the one game for the Turkish international goalkeeper, who was in net for Turkey's 3-2 win in the last international break against Germany in November. He is definitely seen as one of the better goalkeepers around, especially a second-choice goalkeeper, the 6'6" Turk international. So 90 seconds in it is Manchester United on the ball, midway side their own half, with Lisandro Martinez, who's making his first start since September when he injured his foot, and he's been out for 23 games. He did return, though, against Tottenham 2 weeks ago off the bench, replacing Johnny Evans that time, as Luke Shaw's ball forward towards Højlund, helped on down the line. It's a looping ball, it's headed into the sky. Can it be brought down here by Mainu? Header lost there to number 24, and that's Aaron Wildig. But now with Højlund, he pokes it back to Martinez, sends it out to the right-hand side looking for Anthony, cut out there by the left wing-back of Adam Lewis, only as far as Dalot on halfway, and he goes back into his own half here to find number 19, Raphael Varane. 30 years of age, the Frenchman. There's a ball over the top, down the left-hand side, finds Garnacho, one Argentine to another. Good pass there from Martinez. Garnacho goes over in the box, gets straight back to his feet, and the ball can be cleared away by Shane McLaughlin up to the halfway line, headed forward by Martinez, then nodded inside by Shaw for Mainu. And he finds Bruno Fernandes, who's 25 yards from goal, plays it across to the right here to Dalot, who's got Anthony in support. He lays it off to the Brazilian. Here is Anthony, edge of the box, on his left foot. He's going to be allowed to take the shot on, and can't quite curl it into that far corner. Wide it goes from the former Ajax wide man. Obviously, we know that's what he likes to do from that right-hand side. Definitely seems a bit of a one-trick pony. Getting it onto that left foot, edge of the area. He was allowed to shoot there by the number 4, Ryan Delaney, who took his time to go and press Anthony before he was able to take the shot on. But there is Graham Coughlin, the current Newport manager. Been in charge since October 2022. He's taken charge of his 75th game, looking for his 28th victory, if possible. As the goal kick's been taken by Nick Townsend out to Newport right. Evans flicks it on, but it's cleared by Lisandro Martinez into the Newport half, where the header's been won by Delaney. Can't be flicked on there by Evans because he's been pushed in the back there by Casemiro. And there'll be a free kick for Newport inside the opposition half, given by tonight's referee, David Coote, 41 years of age, and he was the referee for Manchester United's League Cup win last season against Newcastle. There's Charlesley there, was actually the one to be pushed in the back, not Evans. It's about 10 yards inside the Manchester United half, but it will be number 8, Bryn Morris, to put this into the area possibly, just to float it in and maybe cause some danger here for Manchester United to have to deal with. Joined in the summer. He's played every game so far. He's featured in every game so far this season. Bryn Morris for Newport as he curls it down the right-hand side. It bounces in the area. Header won by Martinez. Helped forward by Garnacho. Can't find Anthony. Goes through to the halfway line here to the left wing-back of Lewis, who sprays it out beautifully to the far side. And a cross goes into the far post. Header won by Dalot. It'll reach Anthony midway inside his own half here. He's got Lewis, the wing-back, chasing him from behind, but he'll find Dallo, who goes across into the 18-yard area for Bayern Deer, who will calmly release the ball to the left-hand side and finds Bruno Fernandes. Good distribution there from the backup goalkeeper, as Bruno Fernandes has been forced backwards here to number 23, Luke Shaw, who's making his 30th appearance in the FA Cup tonight. Unfortunately, he wasn't in the team for Manchester United's last FA Cup win, despite being at the club. That was the season he broke his leg away at PSV in the Champions League when they won it under Louis van Gaal in 2016. So obviously he was injured for that final. As it's Varane on the ball to Anthony on the halfway line. Goes back here into Dallo. Being pressed there by number 20, Harry Charsley. But can keep the ball moving here to the number 6, Lisandro Martinez. Who'll be a very welcomed return, the Argentine, as Luke Shaw finds Højlund. He's dispossessed by Newport's number 8, Bryn Morris, who has it now down the right-hand side. Thumps it clear, something to chase here now for Charsley. But he gives up the chase because Martinez was always going to get there first. And it is still Newport 0, Manchester United 0. We've had one shot on goal from Anthony, about 2 minutes in, curling wide of the left-hand side post. As here is Anthony, goes back here into Varane in his defensive third. It's now across the 18-yard area to number 6, Martinez. Obviously no Marcus Rashford today for the away side. Obviously not well enough to travel today after Manchester United have had 2 weeks off. As Fernandes plays it through to Anthony, needs to square it, goes back in towards Fernandes, who will take the strike on! And Manchester United have an early lead. Before today, Anthony had made no goal contributions this season. That has now changed. He has provided the assist for Bruno Fernandes, who was on the score sheet in the third round against Wigan. And he's scored now once again, this time away at Newport County. A little bit too easy there for the away side, showing their quality and class that Newport can't quite match them for. It was down the left-hand side with Luke Shaw entering the Newport half. There was runs made by Anthony, who was just maybe onside as it was flicked to him by Fernandes. And to complete the 1-2, he found the Portuguese international just lurking on the edge of the area, pulled it back to him, and first time, all alone, he was able to just drill the ball into the bottom left corner, beyond Nick Townsend in the Newport goal. And early on in this fourth round tie, it is Newport County 0, Manchester United 1. Just a little bit too easy there for Manchester United. A pretty simple 1-2 has cut the Newport defence apart. It would have been close offside there, because when Luke Shaw played it forward to Fernandes, who then just poked it forwards for Anthony down the left-hand side, he could have marginally maybe been offside. It was a close call. Obviously, the linesman on this near side didn't give anything, so the goal stands. And there's obviously no VAR tonight, with the fact it's at a League Two stadium. But Manchester United have been the better side in the opening 8 minutes. They obviously had that attempt early on with Anthony, which nearly curled into the far corner, but they've definitely been on it so far as Casemiro sends the ball over the top, nodded down here in the centre circle to Dallo, but then cleared away with the left boot of Delaney. Fires it out to the Newport right. Can Will Evans control it? Yes, he can. That's a beautiful touch. He goes over the challenger short. Nothing given by the referee. And Will Evans has to get back to his feet as Manchester United attack again down the left-hand side. Fernandes plays it into the path here of Anthony. He's got Luke Shaw on the overlap. Feeds the Englishman who can't quite get onto it. Just a slightly overhit pass. And it's a goal kick for the home side, which will be taken by their goalkeeper, Nick Townsend, who actually represents Antigua and Barbuda in international level. He's made 7 appearances for them. And his last one came in June of this year. So he has played for them very recently, the 29-year-old who came through the Birmingham Academy. But this has been a very horrid season for Manchester United, who've almost lost 50% of their games in all competitions. They've lost 14 of their 30 they've played. They've only won 13 of the 30. It's from the goal kick. Last touch comes off Garnacho as he was challenging with Shane McLaughlin aerially for that ball. The right wing back for Newport, Shane McLaughlin, who's got 3 FA Cup goals in the first 2 games, against Oldham in the first round, then Barnet in the second, as it's thrown down the line, helped on by Evans. Can't be kept in by Seb Palmer. Holden, and it's headed behind by Martinez for a throw-in for Newport. Midway side the Manchester United half on that far side. He's definitely been on it in the opening 10 minutes. Lisandro Martinez, who returns for Manchester United, throwing down the line, headed away by Shaw. Flicked on by Fernandez, helped on by Garnacho, who finds Højlund, and the play will carry on as the advantage is being played here. Fernandez goes out to the right-hand side to Dalot as Garnacho has stayed down. Dalot has overhit the touch, and he's been tackled strongly there by number 6. I thought it was number 6. I think it was Delaney, the captain, and they've tried to find Palmer Holden, who's closing down by Ndere, who just about shifts the ball away as Seb Palmer Holden nearly intercepted his pass there, which would have led to a Newport goal for sure. And it's now with Luke Shaw at left back. Pass goes behind him from Main, who's been closed down here by the number 19 of McLaughlin. Down the line to Garnacho. They keep it away here from the Newport midfield, and Garnacho could sprint away into the Newport half. He's got the run to his left of Mainu, and he finds him in the final third. He enters the box onto his right foot, dinks it out to the right-hand side, controlled with the chest of Fernandez, flicks it through for Dalot, who squares it to Anthony. Loads of time to find a chance for a shot, and he just puts it over the crossbar. Another chance for Manchester United, which goes missing for them. Anthony this time has already provided an assist tonight. It's his first goal contribution of the season, and for someone who was bought for £82 million, that is absolutely dreadful. But he's provided an assist tonight against League 2 Newport, and he nearly got on the score sheet just inside the area, trying to find that top left-hand side of the goal. This Garnacho was caught there late by Bryn Morris, but the play was allowed to continue, and Garnacho's fine to carry on. So Townsend, the goalkeeper, takes it out towards the right-hand side and straight out of play for a throw-in for the Manchester United. That needs to improve from the goalkeeper, Nick Townsend. If Newport are going to get any chance in this game, they've got to at least be keeping the goal kicks in. Maybe trying to win a few flick-ons in behind, because they are a very direct team when you've got Seb Palmer Holden, the 19-year-old loanee up there, who's 6'2", who they do usually aim for as United restart at the back, and they've gone out to the right-hand side here to Diogo Dalot, who scored his second FA Cup goal against Wigan in the last round. His other one came against Tranmere in the 4th round back in 2020. As he plays the ball down the Manchester United right. Can't quite find Anthony. Goes through to the Newport goalkeeper. But they have found a settled starting 11, Newport, with both the last FA Cup game against Eastleigh and their last league game against Wrexham. They've both started with the same starting 11. As the goalkeeper Townsend smashes it into the Manchester United half. Varane, though, wins the header on Evans. Chested down, though, here for Newport and lifted out to the right-hand side, but can't find a shirt of orange, and he finds Luke Shaw instead. He fires it out to the near side here to Anthony. Finds Dalot, who's got loads of room to run into. Into the final third he goes. He's one-on-one with the left wing-back Lewis. He'll go on the inside of the outside. He squares it instead towards Kobbie Mainoo. And what a moment for the 18-year-old who scores his first senior goal for Manchester United. In what has been a very dismal season, he has for sure been a shining light as he has come through into the first team for this season. And he's got his first goal in the FA Cup. It's come against Newport County. And what a moment for the number 37. It was well worked down the Manchester United right flank, finding Diogo Dalot, who was one-on-one with Adam Lewis. He entered the box. He was able to square it to the unmarked Kobbie Mainoo, who very calmly just swept the ball to the far corner. Side netting. No chance for the goalkeeper, Nick Townsend. It was done so calmly, just right foot, curling that ball to the bottom left corner. Just inside the area. Harry Charlesley was trying to close him down, but the Newport midfielder got there too late. Mainoo had already had the shot, beating Nick Townsend, and at Rodney Parade here, it's Newport County 0, Manchester United 2, and there is a big mountain to climb for the home side if there are any chances of them proceeding into the 5th round. As a header away by Varane, kept alive by Wildig. It's now Newport on the right flank trying to work across, which has been deflected behind by Casemiro. And it will be a corner on the far side for Newport. They've continued their attack down the right-hand side. And they've got huge centre-backs in there. James Clark, just over 6 foot, 34-year-old there. Captain at 27 years of age. He's 6'5". And as mentioned before, their loanee from Bristol City, the striker, Seb Palmer Holden, is also at 6'2". as it is going to be a left-footed in-swinger here for Newport County. Towards the near post, header won by Bruno Fernandes. That was far too easy. As the header backwards to the halfway line, finds the number 19 of McLaughlin, lifts it towards the 18-yard area, headed on by Delaney, volleyed away by Casemiro, laid off here to Dallo by Anthony, and then Dallo tries to look for Garnacho and behind, good header away by McLaughlin, touched down by Evans, finds Charlesley, who's got Martinez closing him down, but he's able to shift it to the left-hand side to Morris, and Newport have got the ball in their own half with Delaney. Back out to this near side here to Morris. On the halfway line, tries to switch it into the midfield towards the right-hand side. He's found Charlesley, who's made a good touch as well here. Chance for Newport, crossing with the left foot towards the 6-yard area, straight into the hands of Bayindir for Manchester United. They were looking for the number 7, Will Evans, as the flick towards Fernandes has gone behind him, and Newport can maybe work an attack here after being gifted an opportunity deep in the Manchester United half, but they've lost it. And then Manchester United clear it up the field, down the right-hand side towards Anthony, dealt with well by Shane McLaughlin. And it's now out to the left flank here to number 7, Will Evans, who is enjoying his best scoring season in his career, 15 at the moment, already in League 2, 18 in all competitions. His best scoring season was back in the 2020-2021 season in the Welsh League. Got 12 in 31. Martinez gets there at a Palmer Holden's. Now Casemiro, Martinez, through to Shaw at left back. Good play from Manchester United, who switch it towards Dallo, who flicks it behind him to his goalkeeper, Bayindir, as he was being pressed there by Will Evans. And it'll be Rafael Varane midway side his own half to assess the options, and he clips the ball out to the left-hand side here to number 23, Luke Shaw, who's yet to score this season. He only got the one last season. It came a year ago against Bournemouth. That'll be a chance for him to score tonight. There's Newport struggling to defend Manchester United when they get forward. Dallo's misplaced ball though, but it's a poor touch there by Lewis, the wing back for Newport, and it's been fouled now through Garnacho. Enters the box onto his right foot. He's going to have a chance to shoot, which is blocked. It goes across the 18-yard area through to Anthony, who's trying to see this ball out for a corner. Keeps it in and plays it inside to Dallo. Wants the 1-2. Cut out though by McLaughlin, who needs to clear it, but Anthony gets in the way. Manchester United have re-won the ball in the final third. They've gone back here to Casemiro. And across to the left to Luke Shaw, midway side the Newport half. It's now Garnacho onto his right foot, scoops across in, header away, all as far as Casemiro. Manchester United can go again with their number 8, Bruno Fernandes, who's scored his 7th goal in the FA Cup tonight, in his 16th appearance in the competition. It's his second in the 4th round. His last 4th round goal came against Liverpool 3 years ago in a victory at Old Trafford. Manchester United have the ball with their goalkeeper Bayindir. Ball forward, just about reaches Martinez ahead of Wildig, and Martinez will send it through to Garnacho on the left. He's all alone, great touch in front of him, on the angle, left foot, he hits the crossbar. So close for Alejandro Garnacho, who's looking for his 6th goal of the season. And he was found beautifully there by Lisandro Martinez, who I know it's only League 2 Newport, but he's been fantastic today. Probably something they've been missing in recent months. A centre-back like him. Chipped it through down the left-hand side for Garnacho, who's touched in front of him, led him into the 18-yard box. And Højlund and Fernandes wanted the ball cut across to them, but for me, when you take a touch like that from Garnacho right in front of you, it's teed up to shoot. You've got to take it on, and unfortunately, he's hit the crossbar. And it remains 2-0 to the away side, who will be taking on either Bristol City or Nottingham Forest away from home in the 5th round. As the goal kick, chested down by Will Evans. That's a great touch on the far side. Tries to take on Luke Shaw, loses out in the end, and it's now with the number 23 for United. Ball down the line, deflects through to the number 4 for Newport, and that is Ryan Delaney, former Ireland under-21 international. It's now with the goalkeeper Townsend, down the right-hand side, looking for Evans, pushed to the ground there by Shaw. No foul given by the referee, and it's now with Luke Shaw in the defensive third for the away side. And he'll spray it out to Dallo on the opposite full-back position. And he finds Anthony in the Newport half. Dallo overlaps. Anthony lays it off here for Mainu, the other goal scorer. And here's Dallo again, who provided the assist for the second goal. Through Kobbie Mainu, his first ever Manchester United goal at senior level. Great moment for him in his 10th start for the club. It's on the halfway line here with Luke Shaw, being forced to go across to number 19, Raphael Varane. It's now with Dallo. Down the line here to Anthony, inside to Hoyland. It's now Mainu. Dinks it over the top looking for Anthony, but he's just straight offside and the ball goes through to Nick Townsend in the 18-yard area for Newport. Nick Townsend, the Newport goalkeeper, has been at the club since 2018. This is 146th appearance for the 29-year-old. Only 5'11", the goalkeeper. Not the usual height for a man in between the sticks. So again, they're going down the Newport right here, where it'll be flicked on by Palmer. Holden had to be hooked away by Martinez in the area. Only as far as Wildig, whose ball through. It deflects and the corner can be avoided there by Martinez, but it will be a throw-in in the final third for Newport. But Martinez has definitely done well there to avoid the corner, as it will be Shane McLaughlin, a former Ireland under-18 international, to take it. Actually born in New York, the right wing back, but moved to Ireland at the age of 5. He'll leave this throw-in and it'll be taken instead by the number 3 of Adam Lewis, having a second season on loan here at Newport from Liverpool. It looks like he does have a long throw here. The 24-year-old throws it into the area. Header away at the near post by Casemiro. And Garnacho will get onto it ahead of Morris. But then he's tackled from behind by Adam Lewis, who wins it back but then runs out of pitch on the far side. And it'll be a Manchester United throw-in. Adam Lewis, who's obviously on loan from Liverpool. He's been at Liverpool since 2006. He's born in Liverpool. He is a big Liverpool fan. So for Adam Lewis, this is a huge fixture for him, coming up against Liverpool's fiercest rivals. From this throw-in is Luke Shaw down the line to Garnacho. Luke Shaw tries to switch. That's a lazy pass straight to Palmer Holden, whose touch isn't great from him himself, but then he's caught by Casemiro. Free kick for Newport, midway side the Manchester United half. It's dead centre on the pitch, so there's no angle to cross it from a wide area, but they could possibly do that from the free kick, sending it wide. But it was a really poor pass that from Luke Shaw, and to be fair, the touch from Palmer Holden wasn't great, but he was just about able to get his body in between Casemiro and the ball to almost invite the tackle and win the free kick. As this is an opportunity for Newport to possibly get this into the 18-yard box. Number 8, Bryn Morris is over it. With his right foot, he will cross the ball towards the far post, flicked away by Luke Shaw's head, and will run through for a throw-in on this near side for Newport. Possibly another opportunity for a long throw, and it will be taken through Adam Lewis. Instead takes it quickly here to Bryn Morris, who could clip this into the area. He will do just that, and he'll find the left foot of Luke Shaw, who volleys away, controlled by Garnacho. Nice touch into Fernandez, who will play left-footed ball down the channel, looking for Garnacho, but the ball will just roll out of play for a throw-in. Just couldn't quite get the curl, Bruno Fernandes, to keep the ball in play, because if he had done that, Alejandro Garnacho was away once again. Just the one FA Cup goal for Garnacho, who's already smashed the crossbar today. That came in the 5th round last season against West Ham. Throwing down the line, headed back forward by Casemiro. In the end, it's helped forward by Morris, headed away by Luke Shaw. Morris again with the volley, through towards Palmer Holden, can't quite take it under control, headed away by Varane. Helped forward there by number 17 for Newport. Number 17, Scott Bennett. And eventually the ball goes out of play for a throw-in for Newport on their right-hand side. But I am hearing that the Newport manager, Graham Coughlin, is actually a Manchester United supporter himself, which is interesting. There's the throw-in for Newport down the line. Again, a header won by Casemiro. It's now with the number 20, Charsley. Can he work across into the box? He's surrounded by white and red shirts. He kicks it off Luke Shaw. And then Adam Lewis plays into the area, chested down by Evans, who spins and shoots. He gets a second, bites it the cherry, and the shot at the near post is saved comfortably by Bayern Day. He was making his Manchester United debut in goal, as Andre Onana had played in all the previous games for Manchester United. As it was a good ball there by Adam Lewis to find Will Evans towards the near post, and his first shot was blocked by the chest of Martinez, And the second strike with his left foot was saved. Hit it well. Definitely had the power behind it, but Binder was there to deal with the shot and make the save. As United play out from the back edge of their area. Bruno Fernandes nearly tackled there by a Newport player. But he finds Dallo. He goes back into Bruno Fernandes, lifts it to the edge of the box, beating the Newport press, finding Martinez. Now it's through to the left-hand side here to Luke Shaw, who just slows the game down on halfway and goes back into the number 6, Martinez. As for Manchester United, their next 3 away games, all in the Premier League, coming up against Wolves, Aston Villa and Luton. They are all in the month of February, as Anthony's ball towards the byline for Fernandes just goes out of play. Fernandes looks like he was making that run towards the byline, so Anthony played the pass, but then for some reason Bruno Fernandes stopped the run, and that means the ball's rolled out for a throw-in, for a goal kick, sorry. But Manchester United haven't won any of their last 4 away games in the Premier League. Their last away win came back in November against Everton, so they haven't had much luck on the road. And they have only won 1 of their last 6 in the Premier League, and that was on Boxing Day to Aston Villa. They've lost 3 since then, and that's been to Bournemouth, West Ham and Forest, with 2 pretty decent draws in fairness against Liverpool and Spurs within that. Evans headed on for Newport, headed away by Martinez. Now Anthony prods it forward for Højlund on the halfway line. Garnacho's got him behind, can't quite feed it to him. Cut out there by McLaughlin, and he'll go back to his goalkeeper Townsend, who slams the ball forward, flicked on there by Wildig, but no one's there to chase it, and it's dealt with calmly by Lisandro Martinez. It's now Dallo forward to Varane, who is dribbling towards the halfway line and releases it to Anthony. He's got Højlund making the run down the right channel, and he'll find the Danish striker, but he's met by a strong and fierce tackle there from the number 4 of Ryan Delaney, and that'll be a throw-in for the away side. In the final third, Diogo Dallo will take it. Manchester United's number 20. And Dallo throws it back here towards the Manchester United halfway line, to the Manchester United defence on halfway, and that is Martinez. It's now with Shaw. Back into Martinez again. Now all the way to the goalkeeper Binder on the edge of the 18-yard box. Varane down the line for Dallo, again on the halfway line. Sprinting forward as he completes a 1-2 with Bruno Fernandes, but the 1-2 can't be completed because Dallo was pulled back there by Scott Bennett, and that'll be a free kick on this near side for Manchester United. Wanted a day to make your 350th appearance as well for the number 17, Scott Bennett for Newport, who was featured in every game so far this season in all competitions, playing in 38 of the 38 they've played, 28 games in League 2, 2 in the League Cup, 5 in the FA Cup and 3 in the EFL Trophy. That's from the free kick. It's headed away by Charlesley. There's now Varane on the halfway line. It's now Dallo, who's looking back towards his own goal, and he finds Luke Shaw midway side his own half as he sprays out to the left-hand side to Casemiro, and he returns it here to Luke Shaw, who's got loads of time, not being pressed by any Newport player. Varane on this near side plays it down the line for Anthony, who can turn away from Adam Lewis into the final third. He's got Varane in support, plays it inside instead to Bruno Fernandes. He turns away from Delaney. It's now in the centre circle here with Casemiro, clipping it out to the right wing here where Varane's stayed forward from centre back. He puts a deep cross into the far post where it goes through towards Garnacho. He'll find it with a chested touch and he cuts it across to Anthony, who gets a shot off at goal, and it's superbly blocked there by Delaney. It had to be as well, because I'm sure that strike was beating Nick Townsend in the Newport goal. Not a bad cross from Varane. It was very deep and it was controlled well by Garnacho, who got towards the byline, pulled it across to the penalty spot where Anthony had a shot blocked by Delaney, and as it deflected, it came back off the chest of Anthony. Didn't really know much about it, and then into the hands of the goalkeeper Nick Townsend, as Newport have got forward themselves here towards the edge of the box where they can't quite get a shot away. It's in the air. It's headed forward by Morris for Newport, met by the head of Varane. Lewis heads it forward for Newport once again. Can't quite find Charlesley. And the header by Shaw finds Fernandes, who looks for Garnacho in behind. It's a great ball. They find Garnacho. Højlund's across if they can find him. Garnacho instead goes for Anthony on the edge, who turns away from one Newport defender, but his touch escapes him. And it can be cleared in the end by the goalkeeper. Well defended by Newport eventually, because that looked like a dangerous counter-attack for Manchester United. It's under half an hour played it at Rodney Parade. It is Newport 0, Manchester United 2. Two early-ish goals for the Red Devils. One definitely came pretty early on. That was in the 7th minute through Bruno Fernandes after Anthony provided the assist. And then for the second goal in the 13th minute from the opposite side, from Manchester United's right wing, Dalot squared it into the area for Mainu, who from around 16 yards out placed the ball into the bottom left corner to score his first senior goal for Manchester United. So it's 2-0 here. It's Newport on the ball, played over the top of the Manchester United defence, where Dalot will get there first, and he heads it back in towards Bayern before Newport's number 30, Seb Palmer-Houlden, could get there. And it's the Red Devils who are back in possession. It's now with Lisandro Martinez, who's just dribbling away from his 18-yard area, then playing a high ball over the top, down the left-hand side. Garnacho will get there, and again, he's beaten the offside trap. I don't think he's been caught offside yet. Garnacho one-on-one with McLaughlin. Overhits a touch there after a step over, and it's cleared by Newport, but kept alive by Dalot to keep it away from Charsley. It's now with Anthony on this near side, edge of the area, onto his left foot as always, and he gets the shot off, and it has to be palmed over the crossbar by the goalkeeper, so it'll be a Manchester United corner kick. Anthony did have the Dalot overlap, but instead went for the shot himself. Obviously, he'll be desperate to score. Anthony, who's not scored since April 2023 in an away win against Nottingham Forest in the Premier League. So it'll be an outswinger, from Luke Shaw on the far side. Well into the area, not dealt with by Newport. It goes all the way through to the edge of the box here to Bruno Fernandes. Forward here into Anthony, who enters the box on the right-hand side. Onto his left foot. Again, he's going to shoot, and it deflects this time. Behind for another corner. You can see he's absolutely desperate to score, Anthony, who's provided his first assist of the season for the first goal. The Sao Paulo-born winger obviously came in for a huge fee from Ajax last season. So it'll be an outswinger once again, but from the opposite side, and that is going to be taken by Bruno Fernandes. The referee, David Coote, just sorting out a bit of shoving and pulling and pushing. Varane just wants a word here with a couple of the players who are getting a little bit too physical for the referee's liking. He's having a talking to Raphael Varane and Newport's captain, Ryan Delaney. Pretty impressive from Ryan Delaney. Comes straight in and is already captain of Newport after only joining in the summer from Morecambe, who were relegated from League One last season. Fernandes takes it, flicked on in the area. Garnacho goes over on the challenge. Nothing given by the referee, cleared by Newport. Bayern will get there in the United half, and he'll clear the ball out wide. He slices it out for a throw-in, and Newport survive another attack from the away side as they are already 2 up and they want to add more if possible. I say he's flicked on it, more bounced off the head of Fernandes more than any by Martinez. Sorry, he didn't really know too much about it. There'll be another throw for Newport on the far side into the Manchester United half, just in front of the home technical area, where Graham Coughlin, the Newport manager, is stood up, and they throw it down the line towards Palmer-Houlden, who battles with Martinez, and he wins another throw for Newport, and they do have a long throw with the left wing back of Adam Lewis, so I'm presuming he'll come over to the opposite side to take this for Newport County, who, if possible, if they could cut the deficit to 2-1, then we could have a game on our hands, but that's going to be a very difficult task for Newport, who haven't really tested Bayern in the Manchester United goal. They've made him work once. Throwing goes into the near post, flicked on by Delaney, nearly all the way through, and it's well held and caught there by the goalkeeper. Nearly outdid the Manchester United goalkeeper. Nearly went over his head, but he was able to get his 6'6" figure behind the ball and keep it out of the back of the net. And United build out from the back. Mainu down the right hand side to Anthony, who keeps the ball in and lays it back into the right back. Dallo forward first time, controlled by the chest of Casemiro, dealt with by Delaney for Newport, and they lift it down the left hand side. It's a high ball. It's controlled by Varane, who has a 1-2 with Dallo. It's now Anthony again, who tries to turn on the number 19, and that is Shane McLaughlin. And the last touch comes off the Irish wing back, and it will be a throw in for the away side taken by Anthony. Goes back into number 19, and that is Rafael Varane. Martinez, ball forward to Fernandes. Through towards Garnacho. Surely he's offside there. The keeper deals with it anyway outside the area, but the flag has gone up there for offside. I think that is the first time he's been flagged offside, Garnacho, because he has got through plenty of times. And one of those times he hit the crossbar about 10 minutes ago. They're going to show that long throw in again. The Newport captain, the Newport captain Delaney, winning the header on Mainu and causing a little bit of a anxious moment for the goalkeeper Bayindir, who was seeing the ball looping over his head before he was able to catch it. The Newport goalkeeper Townsend sends it forward with a high long ball. What header won by Varane? It's a shot from afar and it's deflected off the post and in. What a strike that is! And Newport County from nowhere have got a goal back. Bryn Morris, which looks like a wonder strike. I think it took a deflection on the way through, and then it also took a nick off the post. And he gets his 5th goal of the season. It's his first in the FA Cup in his career. And there is life in this FA Cup second round. That has come from absolutely nothing. It was just a hopeful ball forward by the goalkeeper. And the header was won by Varane, but it fell to Morris, who took a touch and had the shot. Came off the head of Martinez, which made it harder for Bayindir to save. And it also hit the post and into the back of the net. It was actually Casemiro with the header. Straight to Morris, who took a touch and it just landed nicely in front of him. So his first thought was just to get a shot away, even if it was from 25 yards out. Took a fortuitous deflection off the head of Martinez, but that made it impossible for Bayindir to save off the post and in. And here at Rodney Parade, it's Newport 1, Manchester United 2. They're back in the game, and they've won it here off Luke Shaw on the halfway line. It's the goal scorer Morris, forward and down the right-hand side. Can they complete the 1-2 here with Evans? Evans just overruns it, tackled by Garnacho in the end. Højlund finds Mainu on halfway, but Mainu will allow Højlund to carry on, and he plays out to the right-hand side here to Anthony, who drives into the final third, feeds it to Højlund in the right wing position, who crosses with his right foot to the far post. He goes through towards Fernandes, who can't beat Evans to it, and he'll clear it away for Newport County. And it'll be a throw-in for the away side, which I think came off Fernandes last, so I think it'll actually be a Newport throw-in in the end. What a strike, great goal. Yeah, obviously a little bit of luck with the deflection off Martinez. But, you know, the fact he's took it on and give it a go, you know, props to him. And Bryn Morris gets his first goal ever in the FA Cup. He's played in the FA Cup, Bryn Morris, by the way, for 7 different clubs. He's been a proper journeyman, the 27-year-old who came through the Middlesbrough Academy. But that's his first ever in the competition. He actually scored against Newport last season, Bryn Morris, when he was at Grimsby. And what a strike that is. Yes, the deflection definitely helped, but he took the shot on and he's reaped the rewards. And it is 2-1. Casemiro. Good technique to get over the ball there, to fire it out to Anthony on the right-hand side, who plays it through for Højlund. Tries to let it off for Fernandes, poked away in the end, but kept alive by Varane, who feeds it out to the Manchester United right-hand side here to Dallo, who's about 25 yards from goal. It's now Mainu. Inside to Dallo. Trying to turn away there from Lewis, but loses out in the end, and Morris clears it off Mainu. That's a throw-in for the home side near the corner flag. But what a moment that Newport County have had here. They have scored against the 8th place Premier League side of Manchester United. 12-time winners of the FA Cup. 20 top flight titles. 13 of them in the Premier League. 13 of them Premier League titles. There's a throw-in down the line. Goes out of play. And that'll be a throw-in for Manchester United on the halfway line. I think the throw-in with the wind was thrown in, and then the wind took it out. So, bit of a waste there for Newport as they've given the ball to Manchester United as we've got 6 minutes of the first 45 to play. As Newport have been drawn at home in every round so far, but in 2 of the 3 rounds they've had to go and play away from home in a replay. They drew 1-1 in the second round to Barnet, where they had to go away from home and beat them 4-1 in the end. They're near the top of the National League, the league below Newport. And then in the third round, they drew 1-1 to Eastleigh, who are also in the National League, but had to go away from home and beat them 3-1. As Adam Lewis thumps it away for Newport, headed forward by Varane. Dallow controls it, tries to backheel it, but he loses it to Wildig, who goes inside here to Morris, who plays out to the right here to McLaughlin, who's got a bit of time and space here in the box. He's been closed down here by Garnacho towards the byline. McLaughlin keeps the ball in and plays it back here to Bennett, who runs towards the corner flag, works across, who's dummied by Evans, and in the end it's cleared by Martinez up towards Hoyland, who's battling there with James Clark, and the play continues as the ball dropped to Delaney for Newport, who sends it out to the right-hand side, nodded down to Evans. And he can't quite find his teammate. He can find a teammate in the end. It's Morris who takes it on, and the handball's been given against Luke Shaw, and that'll be a free kick for Newport. And you can see, I can't hear them, but you can certainly see that the Newport County supporters are well up for this now, after getting a goal back in through Bryn Morris. And Bryn Morris there was just taking a touch down the right-hand side, and it obviously must have took a deflection off the hand of Luke Shaw, and the assistant referee on the far side was the one who signalled for the free kick to be given. So it's a set piece for Newport in the final third on the right-hand side. Bryn Morris is stood over this as the right-footed option. Aaron Wildig is also in conversation to try and get this set piece right. It will be taken, though, by the number 19, and that is Shane McLaughlin, who's got 3 goals in the FA Cup this season. He lays it off to the edge to Bryn Morris, who's got 3 shots at it. He drives it low, straight at Casemiro, who slams the ball forward with his left foot towards Anthony, who will control it beautifully, facing towards his own goal. So finds Hoyland, who is joining in on the attack. There's now a Dallow in the Newport half, into Mainu, who returns it to Dallow on halfway, and across to Martinez, and it's the away side back on the ball. Bit of a waste there from Newport. I understand why they've laid it off for Morris to have a strike from the edge of the box, because he just scored from doing that about 5 minutes ago, but didn't quite catch that one. I think they would have been better just to get it in the area and put Manchester United under a little bit of pressure. But it's United on the ball on the far side with Garnacho. Goes back into Luke Shaw, who's got plenty of time on the ball, and he plays it across here to Martinez. It's now with Varane. All Newport players currently behind the ball as Varane plays it forward for Anthony. Out to Dallow on the right-hand side. He's furthest right from Manchester United. He's got everything to his left here, Dallow. Does go back here to Varane. It's now back through to Dallow, who makes a run inside, edge of the area, plays it through for Fernandez, who shifts it on once more to Luke Shaw. Still on the edge of the area. Luke Shaw, first pass can't be taken because he's been closed down by Evans, but eventually finds Garnacho. 1-2 with Fernandez, but then Garnacho's dispossessed. It's now with Will Evans, who goes over on the challenge of Luke Shaw, and that'll be a free kick for Newport. Well won there by number 7, Will Evans, who's got the 15 goals in League 2 so far this season. Obviously having a cracking season, and he's only got the 1 year left on his contract. Signed a 1 year extension in May last year, as he was actually brought down by Casemiro, not Luke Shaw. As we are nearing in on half-time here. And it is 2-1 to Manchester United, who were knocked out in the 4th round of the League Cup at home to Newcastle earlier in the season. They are facing a little bit of a scare against Newport as the free kick taken by the goalkeeper Townsend goes all the way through for a goal kick on the opposite end of the pitch. Can't quite find the number 7 of Will Evans. And the goal kick will be taken short by Bayinde. Will actually be taken by Martinez to the goalkeeper, who will then dribble forward with the ball out of his area. Newport just backing off at the moment. Bayinde will send a long ball forward. It's a high one, looking for Hoyland. Header won there by Delaney, flicked on by Morris, nodded down here by Charlesley, who can work himself away from Bruno Fernandes. He's almost in a right-back position here, the Newport central midfielder. And here is Lewis, forward, cut out by Martinez. Can be kept in by Luke Shaw as well. That's a great touch over his head. And it's now Bruno Fernandes in the left wing position. Inside to Garnacho, goes over on the challenge, given as nothing from the referee. Luke Shaw trying to win it back for Manchester United, but he can't quite dispossess the Newport player. But it's given away to Mainu, who goes forward to Hoyland on halfway. It's now Fernandes, plays it through for Garnacho. They tried to play him offside. He's actually left it for Fernandes, who then crosses himself. And it goes straight across the 18-yard box and out for a throw-in on the opposite side. Yeah, it looks like he was playing it through for Garnacho, who I think knew was caught offside, so he stopped his run, Garnacho, and let Fernandes take over, but the eventual cross wasn't great from Manchester United number 8, who scored his 71st goal for Manchester United, as he's now been at the club for 4 years. Signed £46.5 million from Sporting Lisbon. As we've had 2 minutes added on here from the fourth official, Andrew Kitchen. Thrown down the line by Adam Lewis, helped on here by Palmer Holden. He'll chase his own header here and he puts Varane under a bit of pressure, but he finds Martinez, who switches out to the left-hand side, and he'll find Garnacho, who controls it. He tries to turn McLaughlin. He's one-on-one now with the wing-back. He's got the overlap of Shaw, feeds it to him. Shaw, low cross, dealt with there by Wildig. That was actually Charlesley, sorry, who was sliding in there. But Harry Charlesley came for Everton's academy, was there for 14 years, and he actually came up against Manchester United 6 times at under 21 level. Harry Charlesley, and only was defeated 1 time. There's Luke Shaw, midway side the Newport half, plays it through for Garnacho in the area. The cutback's the only option, but it's not the one that you can find. He was looking for Bruno Fernandes, but it was cleared in the end there by McLaughlin. Was that Bennett? I think that was actually Bennett who cleared it in the end. Not quite sure what the pause is here. With the throw-in being taken, Luke Shaw is going to be the one to take it. Just less than 30 seconds to play in this first half, and Luke Shaw throws it back into the halfway line here for Rafael Varane. It's now Dallo forward to Anthony on this right-hand side for United. He's one-on-one with Adam Lewis. Got Mainu making a run in front of him. Instead finds Dallo in the area. Cuts it back. Fernandes with the shot. Palmed away by the goalkeeper. And volleyed from Newport up towards Will Evans. And that'll be that for the first half. Very nearly at the end of the half, we saw Bruno Fernandes make it 3. But he was the one who made it 1. First goal in the game was scored by Bruno Fernandes in the 7th minute. He was assisted by Anthony after completing a 1-2 with the Brazilian winger, and he drilled it into the bottom left corner just inside the area, unmarked. Bruno Fernandes made it 1-0, and 6 minutes later they made it 2-0. Kobbie Mainoo scoring his first senior Manchester United goal. He was assisted by Diogo Dallo, who scored in the 3rd round against Wigan. He curled it into the bottom left corner very calmly, and he doubled Manchester United's lead. And it's been all Manchester United on the ball. Newport have been very direct, going with a lot of long balls forward, and they had a chance of their own. It was a half chance, but it was taken by Bryn Morris as a goalkeeper clearance for Newport was put into the Manchester United half. It wasn't dealt with that convincingly by Casemiro. It fell for Bryn Morris, who took a touch in front of him. It set up nicely for him, so he took a strike on. It deflected off the head of Martinez, off the left-hand side post, beyond Alte Bayindir, and into the back of the net for Newport to half the deficit to make it 2-1. And despite Manchester United having all the ball and majority of the chances at half-time here at Rodney Parade, it is Newport County 1, Manchester United 2. Decent first half. Manchester United were very good, for the game that's being played at the moment. They know they're going to be dominating the ball, and it's going to be a fixture where they're expected to dominate. But I thought they'd done a good job of kind of killing the momentum, killing the I'm trying to find my words. Trying to kill the size of the game for Newport. They know it's a huge game for them, and obviously scoring 2 early goals kind of just killed the momentum and the vibe of the game. Obviously made the atmosphere very flat, and they are a little bit unlucky really to be going in at 2-1 down, at 2-1 up. Sorry, Manchester United. They should really be going in at 2-0. The goal they conceded was just very unfortunate, really. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a great attempt from Bryn Morris to have the strike from 25 yards out and to go for it. But without the deflection off the head of Martinez, I don't think it's going in. So it did have a slice of luck, but in the FA Cup, when you had League Two Newport against Premier League Manchester United, you might need a little bit of luck, and they have had theirs with the goal which has got them back in the game. But I don't think Manchester United have done a lot wrong, really. Like I said, I just think they have been very unfortunate with the way they've conceded that goal. Chelsea Duncan, hello. I hope everyone is okay. If you are new, if you could like and subscribe, that'd be absolutely fantastic. We have got 4 commentaries coming up next week, if I am not mistaken. Let's have a look. So, next week we have got Spurs against Brentford on the 31st of January, and that is on Wednesday. So the next commentary is on the 31st of January, and that is on Wednesday, and that is Spurs against Brentford. And then after that, the day after, on the Thursday, we have got West Ham taking on Bournemouth at the London Stadium. And then we have a double-header on the Sunday, as we have got Middlesbrough taking on Sunderland in the Championship. And then we are back covering the WSL, as it is Chelsea women taking on Everton women in the Women's Premier League, in the Women's Super League. So that is the 4 commentaries coming up for next week. Make sure you come and check out all of them if you can. They will be scheduled tonight, so you'll see them on the channel later on after the end of this game. But here we have got a game which is still in the balance. Manchester United have dominated, but Newport have given themselves a half chance to come into the second half. Just 1 behind after falling 2 behind after 13 minutes. And you know, you cannot say Manchester United have disrespected Newport in any way. They have gone for the strongest team they have possible to them, the Red Devils. And it was paying in their favour until that Bryn Morris thunder strike from 25 yards out. Just on the right-hand side, so it was a good angle to kick across goal on that little bit of a half volley. And the header and the strike, which came off the header Martinez, just allowed the ball to loop over the goalkeeper. And as well, not just the deflection off the head of Martinez, which helped, but it was also the fact that instead of hitting the post and going away from goal, it's hit the post and hit the back of the net, which also helps because obviously when it hits the post, it can sometimes go anywhere. But a slice of luck to Bryn Morris's goal, but he gets his first ever in his career in the FA Cup, and it's also his 5th of the season. All of his previous 4 coming in League Two, where he scored a brace against Walsall in October. But for Newport County, they do come into this game where they are 5 unbeaten at the moment. In League Two, they are 7 unbeaten in all competitions. Their last loss was away to Wrexham on the 23rd of December, which with their last game coming at home to Wrexham, which they won 1-0 back on the 20th of January. So they haven't actually lost in all competitions for over a month, Newport, 7 unbeaten. But in the League Two, they are 5 unbeaten with 3 wins and 2 draws. And like I say, their last loss was a 2-0 away defeat to Wrexham, but they were able to get their revenge on them in that 1-0 home win. But at home, Newport have been okay. In League Two, 6 wins from 14. But what's interesting about their wins at home for Newport, half of them have come against pretty strong opposition. They beat Stockport County at home, who are leading League Two, and they've also obviously beat Wrexham as well, who are I think 3rd in League Two at the moment with a game in hand, so they could go up to 2nd. So they have beat League Two's best here this season. Obviously, Stockport County and Wrexham aren't quite Manchester United, but when it is a big occasion at Rodney Parade, they are usually able to perform this Newport side, and they've been able to, just keep themselves in the game. I don't think they've been playing that bad for obviously the standard of team they are. To go 2-0 down, that can really open the floodgates. But once they went 2-0 down, they kind of settled in, got playing their style of football, which is very direct, long balls forward, and they all seemed very calm in the game, the Newport players. Not a lot of them seemed panicked or, lost or anxious, even though they're 2-0 down. They just kind of to me it seemed like they knew they were 2-0 down, they're the underdogs, and they might as well just play their own game and just be relaxed because they've, at 2-0 down, you've not got much to lose, really. And, through just playing their own game and just sticking at it and matching Manchester United in the 50-50 battles, they've been able to get themselves a goal, and they've got themselves back in the game. And it is 2-1, and it does set up a very interesting second half. I think the message from Ten Hag will be for Manchester United to try and get out in the second half and score early, because if they can get a third goal and kill Newport's momentum once again, then I think it'll be difficult for Newport to come back from 3-1 down. But the longer the game goes on at 2-1, the more you can ask the question of, could Manchester United slip to a draw or even a defeat here against Newport? I think it'd take a lot for Newport to come back and win, but they're only one goal behind and they could force a replay at Old Trafford, which would be a momentous occasion for the League Two side. There is 75 teams between Newport and Manchester United. Manchester United are 76 places above them, but there's 75 teams in between them. So there is a huge gulf in class. But in the FA Cup, we know it doesn't matter if you have the better team. That doesn't mean you're guaranteed the win. Perfect and prime example was yesterday, where Maidstone beat Ipswich away, and they've got another, you could say, favourable draw, really, with the teams that were left. Maidstone will be playing either Sheffield Wednesday, who are near the bottom of the Championship, or Coventry, who are in the playoff positions in the Championship. So whichever team they play away from home, Maidstone, they'll be playing a team which are below Ipswich in the table. So I think Maidstone will fancy their chances of going to either Sheffield Wednesday, Coventry, and cause another upset, because if they can do it away at Ipswich, then they can certainly give it a go against Coventry or Sheffield Wednesday. So that should be an interesting watch. And if they are televised, Maidstone, I will try my best to bring live commentary of their fifth round game. But I'm just going to go for literally a minute. I'm going to get a drink because I've run out. And I'll be back literally in a minute, and we'll be close enough to the start of the second half, which is going to come in about a couple of minutes' time. So don't go anywhere. I'll be back just in a second. Right, we are back, and yeah, the second half will be getting underway about 3 or 4 minutes' time, and we might as well have a look at the FA Cup draw that was made at half time of the Liverpool game, which they went on and won 5-2 against Norwich of the Championship. Goals galore in that one. But let's have a look at the FA Cup draw, eh? Let's see who's playing who. Yeah, so we've got Newcastle, who could be taking on Wrexham away from home. It's either Blackburn or Wrexham away for Newcastle. Blackburn Rovers and Wrexham take on each other tomorrow night. I think that game's on BBC iPlayer, so I'll be able to watch that. 7:30 kickoff. Yeah, it says there, BBC iPlayer. Then Chelsea or Aston Villa will take on Leeds or Plymouth at home. Obviously, both of those games needing a replay, but you'd fancy either Chelsea or Aston Villa to win that one against Leeds or Plymouth, whoever goes through in both ties. Brighton go away from home to play either Wolves. Brighton go and take on Wolves, which will be an interesting game. That's two strong Premier League sides taking on each other. And then Bournemouth will entertain Championship leaders Leicester. So again, that'll be a good game as well. That should be a close one. Liverpool will be at home to Watford or Southampton, which they drew 1-1, so they need a replay. That's a very nice draw for Liverpool. in Jurgen Klopp's final season at the club. And then obviously Bristol City or Nottingham Forest will take on the winners of this draw, of this tie between Newport and Manchester United. And then we've got obviously Sheffield Wednesday or Coventry to take on Maidstone. It's definitely a team that everyone wanted to avoid. I don't think anyone wanted Maidstone because you just want to avoid the story altogether. You don't even want to get sucked into a possible upset. You'd rather just play someone else. But it'll be Sheffield Wednesday or Coventry who will have to take on Maidstone. It'll be a very difficult game, whoever plays them. And then Luton Town, who got a very dramatic late winner away at Goodison Park yesterday. They'll take on Manchester City for a second time at home. Were beaten last time away from at home to Manchester City. It was 2-1 in the end, I believe, that day. So some decent FA Cup draws, to be fair. I don't think Maidstone will be best pleased taking on Sheffield. I think Sheffield Wednesday would be a good game. No disrespect to Coventry, but I think Sheffield Wednesday would make a good one. Go to Hillsborough and play in. I think that'd be pretty cool. But I'm sure they would have rather had anyone else. But in terms of actually wanting to go through Maidstone, I think that's a nice draw. The worst teams they could have got, personally. But obviously they would have wanted they would have wanted a big name, and they haven't quite got that, unfortunately. But they could have another go in the 6th round if they can get through against another Championship side. But it would obviously be a big ask for Maidstone. The second half of this game, we're coming up in a couple of minutes as the Newport players re-emerge back onto the pitch. As for this second half, they will be attacking their home supports, and the same goes for Manchester United. They'll be going up against their away support. But can Manchester United get some early goals again? Like I say, they scored in the 7th minute and the 13th minute of the first half and seemed in cruise control before Bryn Morris decided to slap a goal into the top left corner via a deflection from 25 yards out. Great moment for the former England under-20 international, Bryn Morris. And there is Manchester United just waiting in the tunnel at the moment before re-emerging back onto the Rodney Parade pitch. I mean, this would be a serious upset if Newport were able to come back from 2 goals behind. That would be seriously impressive. Obviously, we saw with Maidstone yesterday, they went ahead, got pegged back, and then went back ahead again, which is I couldn't believe that. In all honesty, when Ipswich equalised, I thought the worst. I thought this could be Ipswich now, where they can run away with it, but no, Maidstone had other ideas. So both sets of players are back on the field. Manchester United will be kicking right to left, Newport left to right. It'll be the away side with the kick-off, as Newport are just the 1 goal behind. Can they turn it around? Can they get the game level and maybe go on and win it? That would be what dreams are made of for the Newport supporters. As we're waiting for the referee's whistle of David Coote to get us back underway for this second half in South Wales. It's Newport County 1, Manchester United 2. And the whistle's blown. Hoyland plays it to Casemiro, who goes out to the right-hand side here to Anthony, who goes back into Rafael Varane, midway inside the United half. And we are back underway here at Rodney Parade, with Varane still on the ball, going across to Martinez, and then towards Luke Shaw at left-back, third-time clearance up the field, headed on by Fernandez. Hoyland heads it backwards, finds Mainu. Fernandez again on the halfway line, through to Mainu. 2 goal scorers linking up. He fires it out wide left now to Alejandro Garnacho, who enters the box and curls across into the area. It's dealt with for the moment, and then Anthony tries the overhead kick, and it goes well wide of the post for the away side. It's a good start from Manchester United. It's a quick one. It's definitely a quick start for them. Finding Garnacho down the left-hand side, working that cross towards Hoyland, who lost out to Delaney, and then Anthony decided to take on the overhead kick, but that went well wide of the post. as it with the goalkeeper Townsend to take this goal kick into the United half. It goes flicked on by McLaughlin, cleared by the left foot of Martinez, back into the Newport half where Hoyland loses out and the ball drops into the midfield here for Wildig. He can't quite find Palmer Holden up front for Newport, and it's now been worked out to the Manchester United right with Dallow, who's bursting into the Newport half. Dallow with his head up, crosses early, tries to find Fernandez, who flicks it on towards Garnacho at the far post, who lays it off to Shaw, who gets onto the shot, and it's deflected into this guy, and it's caught by the goalkeeper, who tries to take this one quickly, kicking it out of his hands down the Newport right, and it'll find Will Evans. That's a great kick. Will Evans, early ball here to Palmer Holden, who controls it, keeps it away from Varane, brings in Wildig, who switches out to the left. That's a great ball here to Adam Lewis, who goes low to the near post, and Will Evans has equalised for Newport against Manchester United. And 2 minutes in, after the restart, from 2-0 down, Newport County have made it 2-2. And that's a fantastic goal. That really is a goal of real quality. The kick out from the goalkeeper to find, I think it was Will Evans originally, who then brought in his strike partner Palmer Holden, who was able to find the ball out wide there to the left wing back of Adam Lewis, who charged into the final third and worked the cross in. Yeah, Palmer Holden laid it off to Wildig, who then fired out wide left to Lewis, who took the cross on pretty early in fairness. I think he caught out Dallow a little bit, taking it on as soon as he did. Control, touch, cross at the near post in the 6-yard box. Will Evans was able to stab his right foot at it. It deflects off Varane beyond the goalkeeper of Brian Deer. Will that go down as an own goal? Was it heading on target originally? We'll wait and see here. Yeah, it was definitely going in, but it was helped in by Varane anyway. Beyond Altay Bayindir in the Manchester United goal. And 3 minutes into the second half, it's Newport County 2, Manchester United 2. Could we get the upset? I was going to say upset of the round, but it won't even be upset of the round, which says a lot about Maidstone's victory. We could get another huge upset here in the FA Cup. Manchester United got off to a quick start as well themselves, working across in the box and trying to get that third goal. But instead, Newport have gone up the other end and have worked a great goal. Like I say, that kick from the goalkeeper to find Will Evans, who then found Palmer Holden, laid it off to Aaron Wildig in the midfield, who used his midfield creative spark to find the wing-back of Adam Lewis, who then put in an early cross to the near post. And Will Evans, who's now got his 19th goal of the season in all competitions. It's his second in the FA Cup in back-to-back games now, as he scored against Eastleigh in the replay. But across here for Manchester United, heading away all as far as Garnacho, and it's a great block there by Delaney. And it's cleared away for Newport, all as far as a throw-in on the far side for Manchester United. What a moment for Will Evans, the Welsh striker, who has only ever played for Welsh teams in his career. The 26-year-old. There's a high ball in behind for Manchester United. They're looking for Bruno Fernandes. Header won by McLaughlin. Only as far as Casemiro, who fires it out wide to Bruno Fernandes. In behind for Garnacho. He won't get there ahead of McLaughlin, who can turn away from the Argentine and slams it away down the Newport right, where Martinez will control it nicely and plays it back to the goalkeeper. And it will be Manchester United to restart from the back. 5 minutes into the second half, it's Newport 2, Manchester United 2. United, the team that just keep giving. It's incredible. I really do think for that first half, they were absolutely fantastic for the occasion. Did concede that goal, which I find very unfortunate, really, with the deflection. But obviously, just they couldn't quite defend that Newport attack, which was their first of the second half for the home side. And they've got it level here. But we've got to remember as well, in their away games in the Champions League as well, they did lose 2-0 leads. They're showing it now. They were 2-0 up against Copenhagen and they were 2-0 up against Galatasaray. And they drew the Galatasaray game and they lost the one away at Copenhagen. What a story we've got on our hands here in the FA Cup once again. Absolutely outstanding scenes here. There's Newport have a goal kick, taken by Townsend, out to the right-hand side again. Header won by Mainu, headed forward by McLaughlin, chested down by Casemiro. Plays it forward for Hoyland on the halfway line, keeps himself away from Bennett, and feeds it out to the right-hand side here to Dallo. He goes across into the centre circle here to Casemiro, and then back into Varane as he's been closed down there by Palmer Holden. It's now with Dallo again. Furthest right here is Anthony. He'll keep the ball in. He completes a 1-2 with Mainu. Anthony goes back to the halfway line here to Rafael Varane. Martinez. Back into Varane. Even forced all the way back to the goalkeeper, Bayern Deer. It's now Luke Shaw at left back. Being closed down here by Morris. And he's been forced to go back to the goalkeeper once again, who takes a touch and just about gets the pass off to Varane. Nearly cut out there for Newport. As Varane goes down the line here to Anthony. Tackled strongly from behind there by Newport's number 4 of Ryan Delay. Number 3, sorry, of Adam Lewis. That'll definitely be a free kick there. Leaving one on Anthony just on the halfway line. Yeah, didn't get any of the ball. Simple decision for the referee of David Coote. As United have already worked it to the near side here to Luke Shaw, who's adventured into the Newport half. And he play it around the corner looking for Fernandes. He gets towards the Portuguese international. And it's just taken away from him by Delaney. Just before he could get a shot away in the box there. Vital defending from the captain, Delaney. It was a nice ball in behind there from Luke Shaw, who takes this corner quickly. It's a low one to the near post. He's dummied by Bainu. He's a clever dummy, but no one's there to attack it for Manchester United. It was cleared by Palmer Holden. But they recycle it in the box here, Manchester United. Header away by McLaughlin. He'll drop here to Morris. Sends it into the sky, where Mainu nods it out wide towards Martinez, who can keep it in for the moment, but his clearance goes out of play. And it'll be a throw-in for Newport County. But they have got a good run at the moment at home. Newport 7 unbeaten at home in League 2. They haven't lost at home since the 7th of October against Harrogate. So it's been a tough place to come to, Rodney Parade, this season, especially in recent months. It's Dallo down the right-hand side towards the byline. Can Anthony keep it in with his pace? He can, and he takes on the Newport defender, and he keeps it in as well. That certainly stayed in. Hoyland back to goal. Fernandes is on the edge of the box. He plays it to him. Fernandes with the shot, and it's well saved by Townsend. Just not quite far enough in the corner there from Fernandes, so the goalkeeper, Nick Townsend, was able to keep a hold of the ball. Good work, though, from Anthony on the right-hand side. Taking on Adam Lewis and keeping the ball in as well, which was the hardest part. And then Hoyland laying it off for Fernandes. Again, straight down the centre of the goal, really. An easy save for the goalkeeper. Would have been a lot tougher if it was curling towards the top corner. But it was a good save nonetheless. There's Bruno Fernandes, finds Kobe Mainu in the midfield. Back to Fernandes in the Manchester United half. Drills it out to the left-hand side to Garnacho, who can not keep it in. Garnacho nearly blasted the ball away there, but realised he would have been booked. So just about refraining himself from booting the ball away. And it will be a Newport throwing inside their own half. They'll be taken by Shane McLaughlin. Down the line, flicked on by Evans and by Charlesley. Cleared by Martinez. Only as far as Morris, who tries to play down the Newport right, deflects off the leg of Bruno Fernandes, and it'll be a throw-in, for Newport County, who were knocked out of the League Cup by Premier League opposition on penalties at home. Took Brentford all the way, but were unfortunately beaten on spot kicks. It's McLaughlin. High ball down the right-hand side. Martinez will control it, and he's able to clear it only as far as the head of Bennett. And eventually the ball drops here for Luke Shaw. Fernandes down the line looking for Mainu. Can't quite get there ahead of McLaughlin. It's now with Morris again. Back midway side zone half to the number 5, and that is James Clark. It's now with the goalkeeper Townsend. Finds McLaughlin on the near side. Now with Bennett again. Forward to Morris. He's got a bit of space in the midfield. Sends it out to the left here to Adam Lewis, who again will cross early, and this time it's blocked by Diogo Dallo. Something that wasn't done for the cross for the goal. Dallo was caught sleeping a little bit from that cross, which resulted in the goal. But it is a 7-hour round trip for Manchester United. So if they have to go back to Old Trafford and have to replay this game, I'm sure the fans will be absolutely furious. The travelling ones anyway. As it'll be Adam Lewis to take a long throw and he launches it into the area. Flicked on, drops off Casemiro. Kept alive here by Evans. Lewis puts it in. Header won by Delaney and it's straight down the throat there of the goalkeeper. And Manchester United will look to counter-attack towards the right-hand side, but it's cut out by McLaughlin, who takes it away from Anthony. And it's now Newport to come again with Lewis. Goes inside to his right here to Bennett. Curls out to the right here. 1-on-1, Will Evans with Luke Shaw. To Bennett again. In behind Garnacho. Can he find Morris? Garnacho slides for it and gets his foot to the ball, but then loses out to Morris, who is deemed to have fouled Garnacho there. And that'll be a free kick for United in the left-back position. Very fortunate, really, the young Argentine winger. Making his 65th appearance, sorry. Bit soft, really, I think, there, for Garnacho to go down. But as that long throw went in, it did deflect off Varane. And they were asking for handball, but I don't think it struck the arm of the Frenchman. And if it did, his arms were definitely by his side. As they're showing a few replays, so I didn't quite see the Manchester United free kick that they had won. But they've lost it to Newport for a throw-in for the home side on the far side of the pitch. It's Adam Lewis over it. He'll throw it in towards the 18-yard area, where Varane lets it go through to the goalkeeper. Smart defending there. And Bayandé throws it into the path of Luke Shaw, who's met by an orange shirt. And he takes it away from McLaughlin, but there's a foul given against Luke Shaw. The throw went into the United fullback. And he was met by Shane McLaughlin. And obviously, Shaw's fouled the man to take away the ball. Yeah, possibly a foul went through McLaughlin to then take away the ball down the left-hand side. Definitely could have been stronger, though, in my opinion, there, Shane McLaughlin. But he's won his side a free kick, so he won't complain. So it's about 25-30 yards out. It's on the right wing position for Newport, so it's a bit too far wide, really, for a shot. But it will be Bryn Morris, the goal scorer of the first, to cross this in with his right foot. Manchester United's line is on the 18-yard box line. Newport have got plenty of players up there to attack this cross. In it goes behind everyone, and it's hit by a volley there by Harry Charsley. And you could tell that's just behind him, because he tried to just manoeuvre his body to get that strike on goal, and it's gone well wide in the end. Not the greatest of crosses there by Morris, and yeah, well wide by Charsley, who was just trying to get his body adjusted to get that ball on target. Manchester United play out from the back. Mainu in a right-back position, being pressed here, and he turns away beautifully. But there's an offside anyway on Newport. So it'll be a free kick for Manchester United. But that shouldn't really distract the turn there from Mainu. That was beautiful. As again, Manchester United play out from the back, edge of the box, with Dallo. Goes into Martinez. Forward for Dallo. Feeds it out to the left here, midway inside the United half, with number 23, Luke Shaw. Now at the age of 28, the English fullback, who's obviously struggled a lot this season with the injuries. Only his 11th appearance of the season for Luke Shaw, who played 47 games in last season for club. As he's got the ball here into the box for Garnacho. Byline tries the cut back. Comes off James Clark. And that'll be a corner on the near side for Manchester United. Well tracked there by Clark, the Newport centre-back, who scored 2 goals himself in the FA Cup, both in the last round against Eastleigh. Shaw puts the cross into the near post, flicked on and saved. Or, I'm not sure what happened there. The cross went in, it was a beauty by Luke Shaw, and it was towards Lisandro Martinez. And it definitely came off someone else. before going wide of the post. Shaw with the cross. Martinez, I think, kicked it off Højlund, who was running across him. Yeah, came off Højlund and just wide it went. That would have been Manchester United's bit of luck because they got luck from the cross because Shaw's ball in was deflected into Martinez and then his shot came off Højlund and it's a goal kick for Newport. And that goal kick's been taken. Mainu wins the header to the halfway line to Højlund, who's battling here with Clark. Tries to find Garnacho, who's bullied off the ball by McLaughlin. In a right wing-back position, McLaughlin sends it down the right-hand side. Controlled by Evans on the halfway line. Will dig forward. It's a high ball. It's down the right-hand side. He can't quite keep it in pitch, though. And it goes out for a Manchester United throw-in in a left-back position. But they're just showing a stat, and I thought that it might be something like this, but Rasmus Højlund still hasn't had a shot in this game. So they are starving him of service, even against League 2 opposition. It's unfortunate for Rasmus Højlund, who's only got 7 Manchester United goals so far in his career. 5 of them in the Champions League, as Luke Shaw heads it backwards, and it's had to be helped forward by Martinez, only as far as Will Evans, who just about keeps in, hooking it over his head, trying to find Charsley, who loses out in the end to Martinez, but the loose ball drops in the end here to Bennett. He goes back to the halfway line now. To Delaney, short pass straight to Anthony, but his touch isn't great, and Delaney can win it back. And Newport are back in possession with Bennett on halfway. Moves away from Fernandez and Mainu. Heavy touch, and he's tackled there by Dallo. And Casemiro helps it forward to Fernandez. Now on to Højlund, who's got Garnacho through, but he works out wide right instead to Anthony. He tries to take on Delaney. He's been cut off there by the centre-half, who's not give a foul away there. Play continues. Delaney sends it long towards Palmer Holden, who just loses out in the end there. And Manchester United go back to their goalkeeper, Bayan Deer, who again just about keeps it moving there. Nearly cut out there by Palmer Holden. It's Højlund. Out to the left here to Garnacho. Into the final third. 1-1 McLaughlin goes on the outside of the wing back and gets across into the far post, but no one's there to attack it. Rasmus Højlund boots the left post in frustration. And it remains here at Rodney Parade. Newport County 2. Manchester United 2. As Newport County's goalkeeper here, Nick Townsend, has gone down for the moment, which isn't great to see for the goalkeeper. Quite sure what the issue is for him. Trying to see where the injury occurred. I think he has a cut on his right leg, so hopefully it won't be enough for him to have to come off. They might just have to clear a bit of blood, maybe wrap it up ever so slightly. But what a night this has been so far for Newport County, 16th in League 2. They are 76 places below Manchester United in the football pyramid. And they have had cup success before with big shocks and upsets. And they did play Manchester City in the 5th round in 2019, but were beaten by Pep Guardiola's side. But in 2024 against Erik ten Hag's Manchester United, they are level after being 2-0 down as well, which makes it even more impressive for me. And if Manchester United do end up losing to Newport County, you've got to think that Erik ten Hag's job has got to be in question, surely. So Townsend's had some treatment, the goalkeeper. And we're going to get back underway. It's a throw in for Newport in the left-back position. Launches it down the line. Headed back forward by Dallo. Headed away. And then helped forward again by Dallo. And then by Mainu. Then Anthony. Then controlled by Højlund, who can't quite get away from Bennett. It's controlled on halfway by Varane, who then volleys forward down the Manchester United right. Headed away though for Newport. And then flicked on by Morris. Controlled by Evans towards Wildig, who shifts it out to the Newport right, but it's cut out by Garnacho, who finds Fernandez around the corner. Bruno Fernandez, just outside the 18-yard box, works it into the area towards Højlund. Cut out, though, in the end there for Newport. And it's now with Wildig, the central midfielder, who's passed to flex of Casemiro through for Højlund, who nods it backwards, and then it's cleared by Charsley for the home side. It's a high one. It's a header won by Varane. All as far as Morris. Out to the right wing here to Will Evans. The 2 goal scorers for Newport linking up here. It's Will Evans. Finds Charsley from afar. He's going to let fly. Just drags it wide. Not really that accurate in the end there by Harry Charsley, who put it about 2 or 3 yards wide there. Won promotion from League 2 in the playoffs with Port Vale back in 2022. The team he joined from in January of last year. This is only his 39th appearance for the club. As we have got a quarter of the game left to play. And Manchester United went 2-0 up in 13 minutes, and now pegged back to 2-2 after goals from Morris and Evans. There's a ball over the top there down the United right. Can't find Dalot, collected by Townsend, who throws it out quickly for Newport as they want to counter-attack. Mainu comes across and wins the ball back. Throw in surely for Manchester United, as Mainu came across there to stop Harry Charsley getting any further forward. And he throws it Mainu back to his own half here to Raphael Varane. Manchester United have only won 2 FA Cups in this century. In 2004 to Millwall and then 2016 to Crystal Palace. They have lost 4 finals in this century. As a dummied ball across will eventually fall to Luke Shaw on the edge of the area, who wants to let fly with his left foot. Instead cuts onto his right foot and hits the post. Comes out to Anthony, who puts the rebound in. And that's got to be offside. Oh, the flag's not gone up. The goal will stand and Manchester United regain the lead. Luke Shaw's attempt with his right foot curled off the post and straight into the path of Anthony, who gets his first goal of the season in all competitions. It's his first since April of last year in a Premier League win against Nottingham Forest. It's been a more than frustrating campaign for the former Ajax winger. But he eventually gets his first goal of the season against League 2 Newport. That's exactly what £82 million gets you. And it was a ball across from Anthony which fell to Luke Shaw after being dummied by Mainu and Garnacho. And Luke Shaw in the box curled it wide. Curled it off the post, going for that far wide corner. And as the shot was taken, I presume Anthony kept himself onside. On the angle as well on that right-hand side. It wasn't the easiest finish for Anthony, who had to actually use his right foot for once, which is, I know, difficult for him. He just about squeezed it in. But the assistant referee on that far side obviously deems Anthony's onside, and we've got no VAR, so we're going to have to take his decision. And it'll be a goal for the away side, and it's Newport 2, Manchester United 3. So goal and assist for Anthony today, as he's in obviously for the unwell Marcus Rashford. As we've got a long throw in here for Newport, straight into the box, near post, flicked on, still alive in the area, not dealt with well by Casemiro, but it was Diogo Dalot to get there ahead of Charsley. Down the line to Anthony, who's then met by a challenge from Bennett. And he'll kick it out and play for a Manchester United throw-in. Didn't want to concede any counter-attack there. The number 17, Scott Bennett, on his 350th Newport appearance. And Newport are going to make a change. It's the first of the game, I believe. It's going to be the left wing-back of Adam Lewis. He's going to be replaced by number 2, Lewis Payne, who has been on loan this season from Southampton after a failed loan spell last season at non-league Eastleigh. And this is his 30th appearance of the season. He's featured in all the FA Cup games so far, scoring in the replay against Barnet in the second round. Lewis Payne, sorry. So United regain the lead after being brought back to 2-2 at the start of this half. And it is United on the ball in the right-back position with Varane. Less than 20 minutes to play. Bayindir in the 18-yard area. Plays out to the left here to Garnacho, who finds Højlund. To his right now to Dalot in the centre circle. It's now a Casemiro into the space down the right-hand side for Mainu, who just about enters the area. Plays out of the box now for Garnacho. For Anthony, sorry. They both got bleached blonde hair, so it's a bit confusing sometimes. But the ball eventually drops to Fernandez, who shoots on the edge of the box. Højlund now for Garnacho. It's a poor touch, but it's just about stayed with the Argentine, who's passed towards Casemiro, who's poor. And the Brazilian catches the Newport player late. And that'll be a yellow card for the former Real Madrid midfielder, who returns for his first appearance for Manchester United since the 21st of October. Yeah, just a late one there on Harry Charsley. So free kick for the home side, just outside their 18-yard box. But last season, Newport were 18 points off the playoffs spots. They finished 15th with 57 points, and they were 14 points off relegation. So, not the most spectacular of campaigns last season. And to be fair, it's been pretty similar this season. It's not been that great for them. Currently in 16th. Obviously, they've had a nice FA Cup run, but they definitely need to be trying to finish a little bit higher in the league if possible. So we're returning to the action here with a Manchester United goal kick. It's now with the goalkeeper Bayern Deer being closed down by Will Evans. Goes forward to Dallo. Then to the left to Martinez. Sure, first time clearance. It's got height on it. It'll be chased down here by Garnacho. It's flicked backwards here by Payne. Garnacho latches onto it, plays it through for Højlund in the area, who will have space to cut it back across to Fernandez, who will strike it. Good block by Bennett. And eventually cleared out to this United left-hand side, where it'll roll for a throw-in. Bruno Fernandes looking for his second of the game after starting the scoring in the 7th minute. It was good from Højlund to hold up the ball, as the shot could have been on, but it probably wasn't the best option, so he decided to square it for Fernandes. Ball played in behind for Fernandes here towards the byline, who can't quite get there, ahead of Newport's number 5 of James Clark. Centre-half actually won the Player of the Month in League 2 all the way back in September 2019. I just don't know when you really see centre-backs win Player of the Month awards. I thought that was pretty cool to see him win it back in September 2019, quite a long time ago for James Clark, who's now at the age of 34 himself. So goal kick for Newport, taken by Townsend. Out to the Newport right, header won by Garnacho. Controlled by Højlund back into Garnacho, who's then dispossessed by Bennett. But there's been a whistle blown for a foul there. I think Garnacho pulling a shirt of Bennett, possibly. I didn't really see anything. In all honesty. So it will be Morris to take it for Newport. It's about 10 yards, 15 yards inside the United half. And they've played it short here using Wildig. Forward to Evans, who turns. Now plays it to Payne. Back out to the right to Morris, who will then eventually put the ball into the area. Headed forward towards Palmer Holden, who helps it on once more. And it can't quite be brought down by Charsley into the hands of the Manchester United goalkeeper, who throws it out quickly to this near side to Bruno Fernandes, who will charge forward into the Newport half. Anthony making a run off him. He'll play it through to him in the area. Anthony's been forced wide outside the box now towards the corner flag. 1-on-1 with Payne. Goes inside to Garnacho. Back into Anthony again. Finds Garnacho in the area. Can find space for a shot. Deflects through for Mainu. Garnacho tries to put the ball across. Comes off McLaughlin. That'll be a corner on the near side for Manchester United. Yeah, but Bruno Fernandes to take as he collects the ball in front of those travelling supporters, who obviously would have been very frustrated when the scoreline went to 2-2 after being 2-0 up. So can Manchester United regain their 2-goal cushion? It's in from Bruno Fernandes. It's a deeper one. It's well caught there by Townsend. Can he set the counter-attack off? No one really up there. So he just holds on to it for a moment. Yeah, and allows players to get back for United and Newport to get players forward. And eventually kicks out of his hands. Townsend towards the edge of the 18-yard box for United. Header won by Shaw. Controlled here by Anthony, who's been brought down there by Bennett. And that'll be a free kick for the away side, taken quickly by Mainu. Out to Fernandez on the left, through to the path of Garnacho. He's got Luke Shaw overlapping, feeds it to him. Shaw cuts it across, and no one's there in a white shirt. And it can be brought away here by McLaughlin. And somehow Newport survived that scare. That should have ended in a goal, really, for Manchester United. There's Evans on halfway. Tackled by Martinez, and it's kicked forward here for Garnacho. It's now with Mainu. All Newport players currently behind the ball as Mainu turns away from Palmer Holden. It's now back with Varane on the halfway line. Dallo into Mainu on the edge of the centre circle for United. Spraying out to the left-hand side here to Garnacho. Enters the area, cuts onto his right foot and shoots, but he doesn't connect with it. Easy save down low left in the end for Townsend. Needed to really hit that one, Garnacho. Just didn't catch it at all. Again, Nick Townsend, the goalkeeper, launches it forward for Newport. Header won by Mainu on Will Evans. Garnacho headed towards Anthony, cut out for Newport, and they send it out to the right-hand side once again. It's gone all the way through for a Manchester United throw-in in their defensive third to be taken by Luke Shaw. As Newport are going to make another change here. Harry Charlesley, the central midfielder, he's going to come off and be replaced for the last 12.5 minutes. And the man to replace him will be number 11, James Waite, who's been at the club now for 2 years, the 24-year-old, making only his third appearance in the FA Cup, all of them now off the bench. And there'll be a second change as well, as Newport bring off Bennett on his 350th appearance. He'll be replaced by number 22, I believe, Nathan Wood. And there was another change in there, which I didn't quite... Let's have a look here. So Wildig, Charlesley and Bennett off for Waite, Wright, and actually it was Baker who came on, the centre-back, who's on loan from Stoke. He was on loan at the second half of last season. Matt Baker. So Baker, Waite and Wright on for Charlesley, Wildig and Bennett. So just fresh legs in that midfield for Newport as they try and get back in this game once again. Ball down the line here by Payne. It's now Palmer Holden, who keeps the ball away from Shaw at the moment towards the corner flag. Gets it off Casemiro. Throwing for Newport. Adam Lewis has come off, who was usually taking the throw-ins. And they've gone short this time. Waite, off the bench, crosses into the area, headed down there by Will Evans, but there's a foul given against him as he pushed Kobbie Mainoo in the back. And that'll be a free kick for United in the 18-yard area. And it looks like Manchester United want to make a change. It's going to be number 39, Scott McTominay. Don't know when the change is going to be made. We're going to continue, though, for the moment, as the ball's been played out to this near side to Luke Shaw. He plays it forward to Hoyland on the halfway line. It's now into Garnacho. Back into Martinez. It looks like he's going to be playing his first full 90 minutes since his injury in September with his foot. Sure, that's a poor giveaway. Newport have it, but then they lose it. Luke Shaw getting it back off Waite and playing it down the line for Garnacho. Enters the area, cuts it across. Anthony with the touch, gets it stuck under his feet, but he can work it back to Mainoo and back across to Shaw. Forward to Garnacho, chops onto his right foot, but then cleared away from him by Lewis Payne. Another bit of a waste there for Manchester United. And we're going to get that Manchester United change. It's going to be Scott McTominay and the young centre-half of Will Cambuala. So will we get Martinez playing his first 90 minutes? Casemiro, who's returning for his first appearance since October, he's going to be replaced by Scott McTominay. Casemiro got 2 goals last season in the FA Cup, both against Reading in the 4th round. So Casemiro off for McTominay. And Luke Shaw, who's also returned after missing the last 4 games. He'll be replaced by Will Camboire, the 19-year-old centre-back who's making his 4th senior Manchester United appearance. So 2 Manchester United changes as we're nearing the end of this 4th round fixture. We've got 8.5 minutes to play and we're back underway with the Manchester United goalkeeper on the ball on the edge of his 18-yard box. Plays it to his right here to Camboire as Dalot goes out to left back. And Camboire will play right back. Anthony turns away from a Newport player but then loses it. But then it's won back from Mainu. But then Anthony committed a foul on that far side. And it'll be a free kick in the end for Newport County. Looks like it'll be taken by number 19, Shane McLaughlin. And it's a chance again to launch this one into the box for Newport County. Delaney's in there. Clark, substitute Baker as well, who stands at 6'1", current Welsh under-21 international. Matt Baker on loan from Stoke. As we're getting a delay here in the taking of the free kick, as it looks like we might have a medical emergency in the stands here at Newport. So the Newport physios have made their way across the field. So we're going to have a bit of a pause in play here. So it is Newport 2, Manchester United 3. We've got 7 minutes to play. It's a Newport free kick when we get back underway. Just had a medical emergency in the stands. But Manchester United did have a 2-goal lead in this game. Fernandes with the first, Mainu with the second. But then they were pegged back by a goal through Bryn Morris. Deflected strike off the post. 10 minutes before the break. And then 2 minutes after the break, Newport equalised to make it 2-2. Wonderful cross from Liverpool supporter Adam Lewis on loan from Liverpool. Played it across to the near post. And it was flicked away and in by Will Evans. It did take a nick off Raphael Varane, but it was on target. Anyway, so it will go down as a Will Evans goal, who scores his 19th of the season in all competitions. And then Anthony was able to get Manchester United back ahead, putting in the ball into an open net after a Luke Shaw shot hit the post, and Anthony had been able to stay on side and put the ball in the back of the net to make it 3-2 with 22 minutes to play. We've now got 6 minutes left of the 90. And David Coote is looking to get this game back underway. David Coote is just in conversation at the moment with both manager and head coach Graham Coughlin and Eric Ten Hag. So we're still waiting to get this game back underway in the first ever competitive fixture between Newport County and Manchester United. Just a medical emergency in the crowd in the Newport end. So now the referee is just having a conversation with the 2 captains of Ryan Delaney and Bruno Fernandes. So David Coote now on the move again. Don't know where he's jogging to now. Definitely building the suspense for the final 5 minutes of this one, plus a bit of added on time that we will now get. It's just towards this near side. Diogo Dalot and Will Evans is in conversation. Wonder what they're talking about. As it is, Shane McLaughlin still stood over the free kick, just waiting. It's about 10 yards inside the United half on the far side. So again, absolutely no chance for a shot, but a great opportunity to just swing this in the box and just try and cause a bit of havoc if possible. as I think we're going to get back underway here, as Eric Ten Hag was just giving a final few instructions there for Kobbie Mainoo. So I think we will get back underway here. 4 minutes left to play plus added on time, and there will be a bit of it now with this slight delay that we've just had for the last couple of minutes. And it goes into the area. Far post goes over everyone's head. Can it be kept in there by Clark? Oh, he can't avoid the goal kick. That is very unfortunate. It came off the flag there and it bounced onto the side for a goal kick and not a throw-in. That's unfortunate. But these Newport County supporters still believe, with time running out, as Bayern sends this long for Manchester United down the right-hand side. Comes off the head of McLaughlin, and that'll be a throw-in here for Manchester United in the Newport half. It'll be taken by Diogo Dalot. It'll be taken by Kambuala. Instead, throws it into his own half here to Varane. And then back once more to the goalkeeper, Bayern Deer. Now with Martinez, lays it off for Varane. It's a bit of a short pass. He's tackled strongly there by Evans. And it'll be a throw-in for Manchester United in the right-back area, which will be taken again by Will Kambuala. Born in DR Congo, but moved to France at the age of 5, so represents them at international level. He's even captained the France under-16 side. The centre-half who's now 19. And he throws it long down the line towards the halfway line, heading forward for Newport by Delaney. And cleared away from Manchester United for a throw-in for the home side, as it's going to be a double change for Manchester United. Number 21, Anthony, who's got a goal and an assist today. He'll be replaced by number 62, Amari Forson, who's only making his second appearance for the United first team. And they've both come in the FA Cup, as he came off the bench late against Wigan. And Lisandro Martinez will not be able to see out the full 90 minutes, and he'll be replaced by another returnee, and that is Harry Maguire, who has missed the last 6 games with an injury picked up against Bayern Munich in the last Champions League group stage game. And he'll come on for the last 2 minutes plus added on time for the Argentine World Cup winner of Lisandro Martinez. So I'm presuming that'll be all the changes we get for today. Can Manchester United see this through, or can Newport cause a replay? Throw-in goes down the line, headed in towards the area where it's a header won by Kambuala. Drops in the area where a shot's deflected out to the right-hand side here to Payne. Can't quite meet it. Header Dalot, who clears it down the United left. Garnacho doesn't get there first. Headed forward here by Clark, who can work across in here towards the area where it'll drop to the edge of the box where it's controlled by Bruno Fernandes. Works it out to the left towards Garnacho. Doesn't get there, but Bruno Fernandes was pulled down whilst making the pass. And that'll be a free kick for the away side, as they've got a minute of the 90 left to play. But we will get, I think, around 5 or 6 minutes added on, possibly more, with that medical emergency in the crowd about 5 minutes ago. That's on the opposite side now. It's a Newport throw-in. 30 seconds of the 90 to play. Big throw-in down the line, headed inside by Kambuala. Not a great ball. It's now with Rai. Out wide for Newport. Tackled by Forson, who'll bring the ball away for United. Tries a 1-2 McTominay, but he's been tackled. And McLaughlin's ball towards Evans. Cut out by Mainoo, but then lost to Waite. And now through here for Evans. From afar, he's going to take the shot on early. And wow, he caught that one. It went wide, but from afar, that would definitely made Bayern slightly nervous in the Manchester United goal. Ball dropped to him after a bit of a scrappy midfield battle. And he took the shot on from about 25 yards towards that far post. And how wide was that? This is going to be the angle to show us. Varane was backing off. Shot went through. It was only about a yard wide. Not far away from Will Evans. He's already scored once from close range tonight. Wanted one from far. Make up set 5-3 to Newport. Yeah, okay. As we've got 9 minutes of added on time. Wow. 9 have been added on here at Rodney Parade. The goal kick for United has gone straight out of play. Thrown for Newport, and it'll be taken here by Lewis Payne on loan from Southampton. One senior appearance for his parent club. And he'll take this throw in on halfway. Down the line. Looking for Palmer Holden, flicked on. Header away by Harry Maguire. As far as Waite, who heads it forward, put in the air by Fernandez. Drops eventually for left-back Dallo. Now Garnacho, tackled by Payne, who body feints away from Fernandez. Gets the ball deflected back to him off Mainu. Still with Payne, who can work it out to the right-hand side here to Palmer Holden, who's got Maguire on his back, and he's been forced into the tackle from Fernandez. And the ball's, again, a lot of scrappy battling going on, but they've worked it to the right wing here to Waite, who can turn away from Dallo. Squares it across here to... I think that was Morris who took the shot on it. Deflects and it curls nicely out of play for a corner for Newport. Bryn Morris, who took the shot on first time. Don't think it was ever going towards goal, but the deflection certainly made it go well wide of the post for a corner. And it'll be taken by McLaughlin. We've played 2 minutes of the 9 added on. It'll be Shane McLaughlin here to cross the ball in. It's a floater towards the far post. Headed forward into the hands of Bayendire in the 6-yard box. I think it was Will Evans at the far post who won the header. But it lacked any power that was needed to at least challenge Bayendire in the United goal. Easy save in the end. And it still remains 3-2 to the away side. With 6.5 minutes to play. Newport poke it forward out to the right-hand side. It's asking a lot of weight. Who won't get there? It'll be seen through by Harry Maguire. Throwing for the away side in the left-back position. It'll be taken by Dallo. Manchester United try and see out this FA Cup 4th round game. Flicked on by Hoyland into the Newport half. Header won by Morris. Goes back here to Clark. It's now with the goalkeeper, Townsend, who will clear it first time. It's spinning the wrong way here. It won't go very far, and it'll be nodded down by Maguire to Fernandez. On once more to McTominay. Finds Garnacho. Forson's making a run in the area. They find him. Forson with the shot. Good save. Drops to Hoyland, who will eventually put it in the back of the net. And that is the 4th round game wrapped up. Newport 2, Manchester United 4. Rasmus Hoyland in added on time breaks the Newport County hearts. It has been a lot more challenging than it should be for Manchester United tonight. But the main thing for them is that they have found their way through to the 5th round, where they will take on either Bristol City or Nottingham Forest. It was a header won by Harry Maguire. Then Fernandez to McTominay. Nice ball through to Garnacho, who looked for Forson, who got the shot away at goal. It was parried away by the goalkeeper, Townsend. And on the rebound, being surrounded by quite a lot of bodies, Hoyland was able to work just a slight bit of room to get the shot off into the bottom right corner. He's done well there, Hoyland, who's had a frustrating game himself. He's been starved of service on the whole tonight. But he's put this game beyond doubt for the away side, and here in the FA Cup 4th round in South Wales, it is Newport County 2, Manchester United 4. Newport pushed them very far into added on time, but that goal has definitely killed it. But Newport can be nothing but proud of their efforts tonight. They've been absolutely superb from the 20 minute onwards, really. They've got a chance here to maybe get a third goal. Shot blocked in the box by Manchester United. That was Kaiben Rai. Hoyland in the box on the left-hand side. Tries to square it. Comes off Clark. Back to Hoyland, who looks for Fernandez. Lays it off to the edge of the area to Forson. It's now Hoyland again. Tackled in the area by Clark. Cleared away. Goes beyond the halfway line towards Palmer Holden, who will lose out in the end to Varane. It's now with Kambuala, who just lumps it forward, taking no risks there. And it'll go all the way through to the Newport goalkeeper of Nick Townsend. We'll kick the ball forward. It's a high one, header won by Kambuala. It'll be controlled here and played forward by Clark. Out to the Newport left, where it will be James Waite to control it. And he will work himself down this left-hand side onto his right foot, tackled though well by Forson, but only as far as McLaughlin, who will send the ball in the area, header away by Mainu this time, over the head of Garnacho, so it's still with Newport on this near side, with Payne, who'll go for an earlier cross, swings away from the goalkeeper, flicked away by Varane, and it's volleyed away on the edge of the box by Amari Forson, and it'll be a throw-in on the near side for Newport as they will make a change, and it'll be number 30, Seb Palmer-Holden, to be replaced by number, couldn't quite see the number that went up there, but the loanee from Bristol, Seb Palmer-Holden, will be replaced with two and a half minutes to go by number 22 left winger Nathan Wood, who's making his 18th appearance of the season, just a second in the FA Cup, came off the bench in the first round against Oldham. And Manchester United are going to make another change here. Number 19, Raphael Varane, will be coming off for number 35, and that is Johnny Evans, 36 years of age. This is his 29th appearance in the FA Cup, and he's won it once previously, and that was during his time at Leicester in 2021. So I think they are definitely the final changes to be made. We've got only 2 minutes left to play. United have won it back on their right-hand side, but they lose it, goes out of play. Hoyland's poor pass goes out of play, so throw-in taken quickly. Dealt with by Camboire, helped away by Mainu. It's now McTominay, who has been tackled here, and Newport try and get forward, but they've been dispossessed, but then they win it back. It's very scrappy, these last 10-15 minutes. Eventually drops to Evans, who's been kicked there by Scott McTominay, and that'll be a free kick for the home side. Maybe a last chance to get this ball in the box, maybe get another consolation goal, make it 4-3. But for Manchester United, they travel in the week to Wolves before playing West Ham at home, and then travelling to Aston Villa after that. So some difficult games coming up for Manchester United, who are currently slumped in 8th in the league. And they haven't won away from home in the league in their last 4. So going away to Wolves is going to be quite the task for Erik ten Hag. That's from the free kick. They play it to the edge of the area to Waite, who's got a free shot at it, and it's had to be tipped over by Bayindir. It was arrowing towards the top right corner, and the save was needed on James Waite, who came from at Cardiff. Curling it towards the top right corner, just needed to start a bit more outside the post, really. Waite. It wasn't curled wide enough to really challenge Bayindir. Like, it's a save you'd expect him to make. On his Manchester United debut against League 2 Newport, conceding 2 goals. But one of them was very difficult to save, that first one from Bryn Morris. But the ball from the corner, chipped out to the edge of the box, helped out wide, but it's volleyed by Dallo. It's now Waite, who gets his body in front of the ball, ahead of Garnacho, and plays it forward. But we've played the 9 added on minutes, and the referee, David Coote, will blow for full time here at Rodney Parade. And it ends here, Newport County 2, Manchester United 4. We were close to a possible upset after Manchester United took a 2-goal lead within 13 minutes. Fernandez and Mainu with the goals. But one was pulled back for Newport in the 36th minute through Bryn Morris. 25-yard strike deflects off Martinez into the back of the net. And straight after the break, Newport got back level, made it 2-2. Will Evans, their leading goal scorer, got his 19th of the season in all competitions, poking the ball in the back of the net from 6 yards out after a slight nick off Raphael Varane. And it was a pretty level game for the majority of the second half, while Newport had made the game 2-2, but with 20 minutes on the clock, Anthony was able to give United the lead once again. Luke Shaw had a shot which came off the post straight to Anthony, who was unmarked, and 6 yards out on the angle. He was just about able to squeeze it into the back of the net, but that didn't deter Newport to try and get an equaliser, but they pushed and they could not quite get that third goal which was needed, and instead conceded a fourth at the other end. Rasmus Højlund scoring his first ever FA Cup goal. Ball dropped to him in the area, took a touch to get into a bit of space where he could slam it into an open goal and hit the bottom right corner. Hits his 8th Manchester United goal. It's his first in the FA Cup, and it wrapped up the game for the away side, who have travelled to South Wales and have had to really fight to get through, but it's Manchester United to progress to the 5th round of the FA Cup, and they will take on either Bristol City of the Championship or Nottingham Forest in the Premier League away from home in the next round. Hope you did enjoy it. Great commentary, mate. Thank you very much. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe. Next commentary is on Wednesday. Tottenham taking on Brentford in the Premier League. But from Rodney Parade here in the FA Cup fourth round, Newport nearly came ever so close to an upset. We're able to get it back to 2-2 after going 2-0 down. But in the end, the United class and quality shone through. They scored 2 late goals through Anthony and Hoyland, which gave them the win. They're into the fifth round. Newport's dream run comes to an end. And here at Rodney Parade, it finishes Manchester United with the win. They win against Newport, and it ends Newport 2, Manchester United 4.